My name is Dr. Vela, and this presentation is called Welcome to High Expectations. Teachers, this is for you. You have to understand something. We have unique situations in each of our classrooms. No matter where, when I was in the classroom, each student is different, and I understand that. And everybody else needs to understand that. So how do we go about doing? How do we go about delivering? And how are we going to do things in a particular way? Well, I'm going to tell you a couple of things and give you a couple of strategies, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Our agenda today is going to cover no opt-out, right is right, stretch it, format matters, and also without apology. That one I love, without apology. And so we're going to go a little bit more in depth with it, and here we go. So, no opt-out. I don't know. Into discussion, into a success by ensuring that the student who won't try can't answer, practice getting it right. We all have those students in our classrooms that sometimes they just don't want to answer. And they just sit there and they look there like a bump on a log. And that I understand. I've been there. It forces a reluctant student to take responsibility in the learning and causing a student to answer a question to avoid a key level. Now, you understand this. We're not forcing them. We're not going to go up there and slap them in the head or anything like that or shake them. We're going to definitely make sure that they want to come back, and we're going to try to fix it. And we're going to work with them. But there's certain ways we can do it. We can always circle back to the student. If a student doesn't want to answer, we have to circle back. Okay, we're not going to embarrass them. We're going to come back. Hey, I'll come back to you. I understand. You don't understand that right now, but let me come back and you'll figure it out in a second. Be firm. Answering wrong is okay, but not answering is not. And I hate that. If you don't know the answer, give me a shot. I don't care. I don't care. Just tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. That way it's going to help me to teach, reteach, or do something so you will understand. And the last one, stay calm as a teacher. I love the challenge. I really do. Back in the classroom when I was there, and even when you're doing it now, stay calm. Be calm, collective, and always never opt out for no answer whatsoever. Find out what these students understand, and they will tell you. They will tell you, or they may not tell you and give you the wrong answer, but that will give you a clue to where you need to be at and what you need to do. So, no opting out. Wrong is okay with me. Failing to try is not. Failing to try is not, and I won't accept it. So, no opt out. Go ahead. Right is right? Okay, here we go. Right is right. When you respond to an answer in the class, hold out for the answer that they're almost all the way right. So all the way to a standard of rigor. You want to have high rigor, expectations are high. So what counts is what's kind of right is 100% right, or what is your standard? Now that's up to you. What is your standard? What do you want to do? How are you going to do this? What are you going to accept as a teacher? A partial answer, or are you going to do 100%? In my classroom, if I can get them on the right track, if I can put them in a place where, hey, I'm kind of getting there, I know I can push them the rest of the way. So a partial answer with me was, hey, that's pretty good. That's good. You're on the right track. However, there's a little bit more to that. And we'll get to that here in a second. So hold out for the 100% correct. You set the standard. What is right? That's up to you. Now make it a habit to make sure that the teacher, you, sets the expectation and standard, not the student. Not the student. Whatever you want in your classroom, it's your classroom. It's a culture or a climate that they feel comfortable answering kind of right, or is it a full right? That's up to you. But how are we going to make those students feel? Are they going to be more comfortable with you or not? Are they going to be willing to say, I kind of got that answer right, but there's more? The student will let you know, and they're going to tell you what they know, but you got to make them feel comfortable. So what is the standard in your classroom? Are you going to say, yes, we'll accept that? Sounds okay. Yeah. All right. Or, yep, sounds about right. Maybe you're getting there. Or, we'll find the right answer, but we'll get you there. Stretch it. And this is the way you can get the right answer, or what you're looking for, within your standard, of course. But this is something you need to learn, and stretching it is amazing. Okay, so you can ask how, why, when they answer that question, Yes, George Washington, or who was it that chopped down the cherry tree? George Washington? Yes, he chopped it. Well, how? Or why did he do it? Or those type of things. But anyway, there's another way to do it. And I have about a 3-minute presentation from a administrator that I need you to look at because it's very important and it's discussed right here.
Hi everyone, this is Carrie Cole with Side by Side Educational Consulting, where we work side by side with educators to improve outcomes for all kids. Today, I want to talk to you about stretching it. Stretching it is a way to add to your think time, wait time in a way that's going to get kids to a deeper answer. Let me talk to you about what I mean by that. So if we ask a question in the classroom, give a little bit of think time, maybe narrate that think time to get kids to participate more and get to a deeper answer. We want to make sure that once we get to the answer and start calling on kids with the answer, that we're not just stopping there, that we're stretching it. We're taking it deeper. How can we take that answer and go deeper with it? Doug Lamont says to be right is not to be done, but to begin. So just because you're right doesn't mean we're done. We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're just going to begin and get deeper into that idea of what the answer just was. So when we think about stretching it, I want us to think about it from 3 perspectives. There is non-directive, partially directive, and directive ways to stretch it. Here's what I mean by that. When we say non-directive, it's pretty wide open. So we can have a student that answers, and then we can say and, or tell me more about that. Can you expand on that? So that's just very open, just getting them to tell us more about that. A non-directive way to get them to expand on their answer and go deeper. The second way is partially directive. So when we think about being partially directive, it's just that. Getting them to expand, but giving them a partial directive in how to do that. Saying things like, tell me more about that first part especially, or how did you come to that conclusion, or why, what evidence did you find? The last way that we can get kids to stretch their answers is be in a more directive way. And when we say directive, we're just more specific. That's all that means.
Could you
So I
pause for a
can say
second?
something like this. Perfect, that's the answer. Can you give me?
So again, what we're talking here is she mentioned a couple of things on more non-directive, partially directive, or directive. Now, we had talked about prior to this slide what you're going to set the standard at. How am I going to come up with that answer? How we get, or not me personally, but how is that student going to come up with the answer, and how are we going to pull it out of them? We're going to round back to them. We're going to ask them questions. Why? We need to stretch that answer. But being a directive person and need evidence, now, not only is that going to get you the answer, but it's more of a standard that what we taught in this, when I began this presentation, is high expectations. This is high, very high. So we're asking, I need evidence. If you want evidence, you're going to ask that student, hey, well, give me some evidence that will back up your claim, back up your answer. So if we're doing that, we're asking for high expectations. So it's kind of a progression here. Non-directive, tell me more. Tell me more about the first part especially, but now I want evidence. So these are definitely that standard that you're going to get, but how far do you want to go into getting that answer from that student? So that's high expectations. Okay.
Pieces of text evidence to back that up. So I'm getting them to expand, but I'm being very specific in how I want them to expand. Another example would be to say something like, okay, great, what's the opposite of that? You gave me a great example, what would a non-example be? So you're getting them to stretch it, but you're being very specific in how you're wanting them to stretch it. One other example for stretch it is to say something like, add one more detail to that answer to tell me more about what you mean. So you're just being very directive in how you want them to expand on their answer. Okay, so when we're thinking about that idea of questioning and think time, we ask the question, give think time, narrate our think time, and then what we've added today is, after the kids give the answer, we don't just stop there. Remember, to be right is not to be done, but to begin. And the way that we're going to get them to begin to go deeper with that right answer is to have them stretch it. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. Remember, if you liked this video, to give us a thumbs up. And remember to also subscribe to the channel. We've got weekly videos coming out right now, and I'd like you to be able to be in on all that knowledge.
Okay, you can cut it.
Thanks so much for watching.
So stretch it. Stretch it's really important.
Side.
Stretching it is really important. So making sure that how the standard's going to be in your classroom. Am I going to get that full thing? Because listen, and I understand everything that we say is easier said than done. Because when you're actually in the trenches and in that classroom, there are things that are going to happen, and you need to be fluid because different aspects of your class time is going to take more time. You have 45 minutes or 50 minutes, depending on if you're a 5 week a day, or you work 4 days a week, whatever the case may be. You have to be able to be fluid in that classroom, but actually asking those questions. Can I come back around? Do I have enough time to stay on this student, or am I going to do something else? These are different strategies you can use, and they're very effective. But what is your standard? What is your standard? But if I want a high expectation scenario in my classroom, then definitely I'm going to ask a little bit more. Give me evidence. How? Why? These are key. So basically, what format matters in this also. This was another topic here that I want to discuss with you, because basically format matters because our students today, back when I was a kid in the 80s, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have texting, we didn't have those things. So you're going to have, when they're writing out their responses or when they're talking the way they do, they're going to have things as, we was in the park all day. These are grammar. Grammar matters. Grammar matters. Sentence structure. There are 6 tickets on the table instead of just, how many tickets? No, there's 6. 6, how many? Okay, where were they at? So voice, let it sound a loud and clear expression from the students' ideas. We have to train that because a lot of students are really reserved and they don't like to get out and be out of the box with themselves or out of their shell. So we have to be able to push this out. You're not only teaching them grammar or how to speak or how to be, but they have to be voiceful. They have to be proud. They have to be confident. And these are techniques that you need to use in your classroom so you can get responses that are loud and loud enough so everyone can benefit from an answer or a question that is being answered or said in your classroom. So these are really important. So format matters in any which way form in your classroom. Next slide. Without apology, now this is a big one, and I need you to take heed to what I'm saying here. So without apology, we all have lessons that are not very, how do you say, they're not very exciting sometimes, but it's how I deliver that lesson. How do I put it into practice? Am I using technology? Am I using games? Am I using whatever I'm doing in the classroom? There has to be a way that you do it, but without apology means that by saying this, assuming that the content is boring, I know the stuff is boring, but let me make it through it. Never, ever say that in the classroom. Never tell your students that I know this is boring, I know this is math, but I have to teach it because it's on the test. Never say that. Always put it in a perspective where students are going to be excited about it. They need to be enthused about it. You need to be. So without apology, never apologize about what the content you're teaching. Your curriculum is a curriculum. No matter what, curriculum is curriculum. Whether you're using any kind of book or whatever the district's giving you, whatever the campus is giving you, it's how you deliver that curriculum is the key. So make sure that you understand that. So the idea of boring content is a myth. There is no boring content. How am I going to deliver this? There are ways teachers to make learning the most mundane, uninteresting task seem the utmost importance. That's you. You got to make it more important than anything you've ever taught in your life, and this is daily. Daily. I hope you like this presentation. I love it. We love what we do, and keep on teaching. Thank you very much.